Hello there, my name is Misha and I grew my X account from 0 to 7,500 followers in just 6 months. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do the same and share with you all of the tactics that I use to grow my own account. So let's jump in. Before we do that, let's talk about why X is worth your time. Like unlike YouTube, where the algorithm does most of the heavy lifting, X is a true social network. Your success depends on building real connections and engaging with others. So instead of waiting for the algorithm to make your tweets go viral, you can directly influence your growth by engaging with others. And I'll explain exactly what I mean by that later in the video. Also, X continues to be one of the most downloaded apps and maintains an active user base of millions of users. I personally never used X before 2024 and I really regret not doing it. But it's not too late. And I'm here to prove to you that I only started in 2024 and it is possible to explode your growth to 7,500 followers in just half a year with the strategies I'm about to share with you. So let's start with the number one thing you need to understand about growing on X, which is that you need a premium account. It is controversial, but it's necessary. You need premium to succeed. I know nobody likes paying for social media, but here's the truth, X is pay to win. Without X Premium, the algorithm simply won't show your content to other people. So you really have to consider it as an investment in your personal brand. When you sign up for Premium, then you get this check mark beside your name. And this means that you are a verified account. And let me prove to you that you need Premium. So let me open the home feed here, my X home feed, and I'm going to refresh this. The goal of X is to end up on people's home feed, like you see here. Your goal is to end up here so that other people see your post and they can like your post. Now, let's check out my home feed. Here I see a verified account, verified account, verified account, verified account, verified account, verified account. It's just verified account after verified account. And then very occasionally there is one without verified, but it's either because it's from a community that I'm a part of or I'm already following them. And I am likely that this is an account that a friend of mine made and I follow it because I knew the name, but not because I discovered it. Secondly, you need Premium in order to get a reply boost. And that means that if you open a tweet like this, then people will reply to it. And as you see here, all of the replies on the top, so the replies that you see first, all are verified accounts. These are all verified accounts. And if I scroll all the way down, that's when we start seeing the ones which are not verified, as you can see here. These are all not verified and they're all the way in the bottom and they have no chance of getting any engagement at all. And this is really important because we're going to be using replies and engagement to grow our channel, which is the topic of the next section. So let me share with you the initial growth strategy of growing your X account to about 500 followers. And this is called the 200 rule. What you're going to do is you're going to identify and follow 200 accounts in your niche or in the area that you are going to be creating in and that you are also interested in. So pick 200 accounts and then post content that is similar to what you want to create. So you're going to identify and follow 200 accounts and then you have to choose accounts that post content similar to what you want to create. They should also have engaged followers. And then you're going to regularly interact with their audience. So not just their accounts, not just the accounts themselves, but also with their followers. And your engagement strategy is to interact with these accounts daily and then focus on writing meaningful replies, not just likes. You have to write replies. And then aim to be one of the first people to reply to new posts on these accounts. Then you're going to write engaging, thoughtful responses that add value. And what's going to happen then is if you are like the first person to reply to a tweet like this, you're at the top here, then other people are going to see you and like your replies. And if they see your replies often on someone's tweets, then they're going to think you're an interesting person and they're going to follow you. This way, you can basically piggyback on someone else's popularity if you are always in their comment section. And this is truly unique about the X platform. You can't do this on YouTube, for example. Doing replies is a really good strategy to get your first 500 followers. Because at 500 followers, that's when your content is going to be recommended more, is my experience. Remember, replies can get more exposure than tweets themselves. So sometimes when you open your home feed, then you will see a reply to a different tweet. So a reply is actually a standalone tweet in and of itself, and it can end up in the home feed by itself. So this is why replies are super important. Now let's talk about creating your own content and which content you're going to post. Well, first of all, the ideal posting frequency is about 2 to 4 posts a day, but the minimum is 1 post per day. You really have to post every day on X, create 1 tweet, just write what you're thinking about, and then focus on replies. On X, the quantity is more important than the quality. On other platforms, you have to really focus on the quality, but on X, it's actually more beneficial to just tweet often, and it doesn't have to be all polished. If it's just a random thought that you have, just tweet it, because it's a signal to the algorithm that you're an active account, especially if you are tweeting on random intervals, like random moments in the day. That shows that you're not a bot and that you're just actually just sharing your thoughts, and the algorithm really likes that. Now, in terms of what to write about, well, like I said, you should share your thoughts and insights freely. So X is a very low threshold platform. It doesn't have to be that high quality. Tweet what you're doing. Just tweet what you're thinking about every day. Don't overthink each post, and mix your personal experiences with your professional insights. This is a very important one to do. So my account is all about DevOps, and I was a nurse before, and then I changed my career to DevOps. And I often will react to things in that frame. So I will say, when I was a nurse, I did this, and now I'm a DevOps engineer, so I experience life in that way, for example. If you combine your work with your personality, then you have an almost endless stream of content that you can create. Try to use a bit of humor and personality, and like I said, leverage your own unique story or perspective. And lastly, you can also repurpose your other content from your other platforms. If you're already creating content, if you're already making YouTube videos, or if you're already making blog posts, then you can post them to X directly. Because recently, X enabled the feature that tweets can be longer. Before, they could only be 280 characters. Now they can be almost as long as you want. So you can write long blog posts and then post them directly to X as a tweet. And then this way you can repurpose the content that you're already using. Now there's one hugely important point about growing on X, which I will explain in just a second. But before I do that, I just want to mention that I have a full content creation system available for you. I have a full course that you can follow, and this will teach you how to grow on all the multiple platforms, and you can team up with other content creators who are on the same mission. So make sure to jump into the community, and the links will be down below. Now let's talk about the most important metric that you need to be focusing on when growing on X. And that is this metric over here, the views. This is the most important one. So the whole goal is to end up on somebody else's homepage so that they see your tweet. And that counts as an view, as an impression. So when your tweets are getting a lot of impressions, then you know that you are on the right track. Don't bother about likes and reposts or comments. Impressions is the one that you need to be optimizing for. You want to get as many impressions as possible, and then adjust your strategies to optimize for that metric. So a successful tweet in my book is one that gets 1,000 or more impressions on my current account. But some of my biggest tweets that I did, so this is the Tweet Hunter X extension, which you can use to find all-time high tweets from people. So this tweet actually got 115,000 views and 2,000 likes. So this was a very successful tweet for me, and this got me, I think, well over 1,000 followers in just one day. So this is the one that you want to be optimizing for. And for example, here's another tweet that I did. This was a really random, it's valuable, but it's a very small tweet, which got 200,000 views. So if you find that certain types of tweets get a lot of views, this is the type of content that you want to be optimizing for. Now, secondly, in order to get a lot of views or a lot of impressions, what you need to do is you need to make people spend time on your tweets. And that's why these short kind of tweets, where it's just 280 characters, they don't really work as well anymore because you can read those in 10 seconds and that's it. The one that I had here, that's just a bit of an outlier. Like sometimes it gets picked up by the algorithm and you go viral, but those are the outliers. However, the ones that get a lot of impressions consistently are the ones that have a lot of images, videos, or a lot of text. So here is one that I did, and this is a video of 11 minutes long. And this got 22,000 impressions and 500 likes. So I consider this a very successful tweet. And that's because many people have spent a lot of time on this tweet. And another tactic you can use, if I open up my feed here, then here we see first tweet that I see with 230,000 views has an image. And it has an image with text in it. So this is why this tweet is probably going viral, because it's an interesting image and people open it and then they read the text. And then when I open this tweet, then I also see that he had another comment here with another image. This is what is known as a thread. So let me see if I can find some threads here. Yes, here is a culture explorer. This one has 130,000 views. It opens with a very interesting image that you want to like open and then spend some time on. Then I open it, and then here we see that he is creating a thread. He is commenting on his own tweet. And each of these tweets, again, have an image. People will open this, they see a thread, they see a succession of multiple tweets by the same creator, and each of them have an image. And people are going to open these images, spend some time analyzing them, and then move on to the next one. And this is how you can get a lot of engagement on your tweets. As you can see here, it works. It works really well. Using images and video and putting them together as threads are a very powerful way of getting a lot of engagement on your X posts. Now let's dive into some technical tips. One good thing to do is to post at different times to test your engagement, like I mentioned. So if you have premium and then you open up your analytics and you go to your audience, then you can actually see when your audience is most active. So I'm changing this to impressions because that's what I'm optimizing for. And here in the last 3 months, I can see that actually the best posting times for me that get the most impressions are 8 p.m. on Sunday and Wednesday from about 6 until 9 and Monday. So interestingly, Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday evening are the most active times for my audience. With this information, I know what time I should schedule my tweets on in order to get the most impressions. You should experiment with this, and then from here you can make some conclusions about what the best time for you is to post. Next, let's talk about hashtags. So I don't use hashtags at all. I think you should use them sparingly. I think the algorithm actually punishes posts that have hashtags. So in terms of hashtags, I rarely use them. I think they're actually detrimental to your posting, so I would try to just avoid them. But what you should do is include images or screenshots when they're relevant, and of course thread your posts for longer content. Now, in terms of scheduling posts, you can actually schedule posts directly here in X, so you can write something and then post it later. You can click this calendar here, but that doesn't really work well. So what you can use is tools like hypefury.com. And if you sign up here, then you get a queue, and then you can just like queue out X posts that will be posted for you in the future. So you can sit down on a Sunday and then write out an entire month of X content, for example. Another one you can use is Tweet Hunter X. That's also a very good platform, and I've been using that for a long time. But disadvantage of this is that you cannot schedule automatically. So you have to write down everything yourself here, and you have to write them, and they will be put in your schedule. And that works well, but what I needed was a system from where I could schedule to all my platforms, to everything simultaneously. And that's why I built this system for myself. This is an Airtable database that has tons of AI-generated tweets that I use for posting on my X account. And these are all generated from earlier content that I made, like blog posts and videos, etc. From here, I can just go here, and then I can do a action here. I will do publish to X buffer, and then it will be scheduled automatically, and there we go. So I built this whole system for myself. It's available for free in the Creator Freedom community. Make sure to jump in there if you're interested in having one system that will do it all. And that's what I created for myself. Another thing you can do is when you are like me and you take notes for yourself, you can then take those notes and then post them as tweets. Or if you write documentation for work, for example, you can share that on X as well. Of course, you shouldn't be disclosing any professional information. Usually there's something useful for other people in there as well. In terms of daily work, what I do is I look for tweetable moments in my daily work and then I just share them. And sometimes they really take off. So you can do like funny daily observations or things that happen to you. So use your own life as inspiration for generating content. Now, once you've built an audience, then you can start promoting your products. You can either promote your other social media channels or share your products and services. You can do that by commenting on your own tweets. So if I show you here on my profile, what X does is if you have a tweet like this, this is a quote tweet that I did. I reposted someone else's tweet. I commented here with a link to my own product. But as you see, it shows up like a tweet with the link here. So everybody who sees this tweet also sees this link, and sometimes it even gets liked too. And this way you can circumvent some things, because usually tweets, here's another one that had got 240 likes, but as you see, the main tweet does not have a link in it because X will down prioritize tweets that have links in them. So if you have a link in your tweet, then it's not going to be as shared as much. It's not going to go viral if it has a link in it. But what you can do is you post your link as a comment to your own tweet, like a mini thread. And then everybody who opens this tweet see this link instantly, and then they will go to your product, and then maybe they will sign up. So that is one way of promoting your product on X. What you also can do is you can create exclusive content for your followers so that people get a sort of a reward for following you on X. And one effective strategy to do is to funnel your X audience to an email newsletter or a free school community. Then you can sell them from that newsletter. That is basically what everybody does. If you go to these big guys like Dan Coe or Justin Welsh, for example, he is maybe the biggest one on X. He has his link here in his bio. When you click there, you sign up to his newsletter, and practically all of his tweets, as you see here, he has a tweet, it gets 700 likes, and then he says, okay, join here, go to my newsletter. So that's how that works. Now, I'll talk about a few common mistakes that you should avoid. One of them is being too promotional too early. When you're growing, like if you're under 500 followers, don't even post links to anything else. Just focus on growing. Don't come across as salesy, because people are not going to follow you if they see that all you do is promote your own products, especially if you don't have many followers. Because the thing is, when you do have a lot of followers, like I have 7,000 now, then people automatically realize that you have something to say, and then they are more willing to follow you. But in the beginning, you have to remove all those barriers, and you have to make it as likely as possible that someone ticks that follow button. So don't promote your products unless you have maybe 1,000 followers or more. The next mistake is inconsistent posting. So you have to post every day, preferably multiple times a day. If not, you are not going to grow. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. So you have to be consistent. Another mistake is being too formal or too professional. Like X is quite low quality and low threshold, as I mentioned. So it's totally allowed to have fun, to be informal, to be controversial sometimes. Show your personality, right? Show your unique story. Don't be too generic, but be genuine, be yourself. And people like that a lot. Related to that is the last mistake, which is waiting for perfection before posting. It's a lower quality platform. Of course, sometimes you should spend a lot of time on a tweet or on a long post. Usually, it's just fine to just tweet what's on your mind. Don't put too much thought or effort into it. Quantity over quality, especially in the beginning. And again, if you want to get full access to the content repurposing system that I showed you here, if you want to learn how to turn your content into a full-time income, make sure to jump into my Creative Freedom community. It will be linked down below. And in conclusion, I would just want to say that growing on X takes time and consistent effort, but the rewards are worth it. Remember this. Engage genuinely with other people, post consistently, show your personality, and provide value before promoting. And I'm sure that you're going to grow even faster like I did with these tactics. Hit subscribe if you found this helpful, and let me know in the comments what other strategies you would like to know, and if you have any questions about growing on X. See you in the next one.